all across the board. Some secure blockers. Great blocking. Marcus Allen, in the biggest moments, has been big for TrueBoy.
Absolutely. Wait, and his run per carry, his yards per carry is going to look a lot better after those two great big runs. But he's been the workhorse that TrueBoy needed him to be all day long. He's delivered. He's got it done. And we have our champion, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Eli Clayton, a.k.a. TrueBoy, traveled here from California to Jacksonville, Florida, and has gotten it done.
Well, I think I see my buddy Jackson DeVille. Well, he's got a big check for you. All right. Well, TrueBoy, he's got the big check. How you feeling?
I feel good, you know. I'm just blessed to be here. I got a lot of work to do when I get back home, though. You know, I got midterms and stuff, and I got get ready for the DC championship or DC Madden Classic, I believe. Oh, challenge, I believe. So yeah, I just got to get ready for that, and then I'll be fine.
Rivers looking, and it's picked off. Let's see if they'll take it to the house.
Classic. I'm here with Spot Me, Please. He just won. You are the champion. What is this moment like for you?
It's amazing. I'm very thankful. A lot of good competition, and I was fortunate to come out on top.
Offense, defense, etc. Taylor, your defense carried you this time. You fought through a ladder of millions of players. You deserve this belt. Carry this home to your wife and kid as the first ever Madden Classic champion.
What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 3 things that make a great Madden player. Now, before we get into the video, definitely want to just briefly talk about what happened yesterday. As you saw the couple clips at the beginning of the video, I'm sure many of you have heard. If not, you know, obviously there was a shooting at the EA sanctioned tournament in Jacksonville yesterday. Sure, most of you have heard about it. It's national news at this point, and you know, the Madden community. That we lost 2 of our top players yesterday. Extremely sad, and you know, I had a lot of friends in that building yesterday. You know, I wasn't personal friends with TrueBoy or Spot Me, but you know, I'm friends with a lot of people in this community and have been for years. And you know, even though I wasn't personally, I never personally spoke with those 2 individuals. You know, you watch them on stream so much. You enjoy watching them compete at the tournaments, and even if you don't personally know them, you feel like you know them. And you know, I think it's important to even if you're not, you know, as embedded in the Madden community as maybe you know, guys like me or other YouTubers or other competitive players are, you know, even if you're just watching these videos because you just play with your friends and you just want to get a leg up on your friends, or you just watch this because you're bored at work and you just want some quick entertainment. You know, a lot of us are deeply embedded in the community, and I think it's important to have empathy for other people. You know, this could have been any of us. You know, even if you're a guy that doesn't compete in Madden like that, you know, one of these events could have came to your city. One of these events, you know, it could have came to your city, and you might have heard about it, and you might have just said, "Hey, you know what? This sounds like fun. Let me test my skills out." Even if you don't even, you know, expect to come anywhere close to winning, you know, you might just say, "You know what? Let me test my skills out. Let me try it out. Let me go there and see." And it's just important to remember that these things can happen anywhere. It can happen to any of us. And I think a lot of times, oftentimes when these tragic things happen, a lot of people brush them off, and you know, they think, oh, like, if it doesn't affect me personally, it's not that big of a deal. But I stress this. I'm always been the guy to say you have to have empathy for other people, because this could have been your brother, your friend in that building. You know, I have friends in that building that were hit. Luckily, all of the other people who were hit, everybody said that they're going to make a full recovery. Some people are still in the hospital, which is great news. You know, at least we didn't lose more people than we did, but we lost 2 great people. You know, TrueBoy, a young kid, he had his whole life ahead of him, doing what he loves. He was for sure going to win a belt soon. I mean, he was one of the best players left that hadn't won a belt, and it was no doubt in my mind that he would have won one. You know, maybe this year, maybe next year, he was going to get one, and it just sucks that, you know, his life is taken from him before he could achieve, his ultimate dream. He's so young. He leaves a family behind. You got Spot Me Please, a true family man. He has a young kid, I believe. He's not very old. He's maybe 1 or 2 years old. Has a wife. Every time he's at these tournaments, that's all he talks about is his wife and his kid. He says he's there, to any extra money he can win to help his family, to help, put money in the bank for his kid. That was always his goal, and it kills you to see, that's why that man was there. It was always for his family. Yes, he loved Madden, but he was always there to help support his family and better their lives. And then somebody takes his, a coward who we're not going to give any publicity to. It just sucks, man, because Madden video, this isn't even just a Madden thing, it's a video game thing. There's tons of people that compete in video games, different tournaments, go to different conventions, and this could happen to anybody. That's why the whole gaming community is like reaching out over this. They're all shook over this because they realize, we all go to these events, these conventions, or most of us do, and it could have been any one of us. It could have been a friend. It could have been one of our brothers, or it could have been our son. You just never know. So, I don't want to ramble too much, but it just feels weird to just try to go on as business as usual and don't say anything about it. I didn't upload yesterday. I was in the process of about to upload a video when it happened. I was watching the live stream when it happened, and at first didn't even realize what was happening. I was just like, wait, what just happened? I didn't post yesterday. I wanted to post earlier today, but it's like you're not really sure how to start that first video back, because there's so many people that I know that I'm cool with that were affected by this, and it just feels weird to just go on and be like, all right, let's just break down a tip today, without saying anything about it, because it's important. So I know I'm rambling a little bit, but there is an official GoFundMe for the families. Has been confirmed by the GoFundMe site themselves. I will have a link in the description and in the comments. Like I say, I urge you, even if you're maybe not as big in the community as some of us are, just think if this was your brother, your cousin, your son, drop $1 if you can. If you can, not everybody can, and I understand that, but just drop $1 if you can. We have almost 100,000 subs here. If just a fraction of the people that watch these videos just drops $1, you're talking about thousands of more dollars to help. Like I said, you have a guy that left a kid and a wife behind. You have a young man that left, his family behind. His family has to, arrange his funeral now, and it's, drop $1 if you can. If 10,000 people that watch this video can drop $1, you're talking $10,000. That goes a long way. So, like I said, these are official links confirmed by GoFundMe. They will be in the description and in the comments below. But for the content of today, I'm just here playing a Ultimate Team solo. Trying to work towards Mud Master. But we're going to talk about what makes a great Madden player, because these two guys were both great Madden players. They were two of the best, two of the top 10 guys year in and year out, through and through, stand-up guys, on and off the virtual gridiron, if you will. I didn't want to just do like a regular tip or a regular gameplay video today. I wanted to kind of do something that, in some kind of way could be, I guess you could say, connected maybe. And they were great Madden players. So I boil it down to 3 things that make a great Madden player. Number 1 is your scheme. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, well, everybody runs the same scheme. And a lot of people do. A lot of people do run the same scheme. You're going to run what's effective when you're playing a video game. But, you got a guy like True Boy, though, for example. He always kind of ran his own thing. He kind of had his own style, and it paid off very well for him. He was a consistent Final Four finisher. So, you don't have to run the same thing as everybody else. You can, if that's your style, or you can switch it up. But the main thing is you need to have a scheme that fits you, firstly. If you're a run-first guy, you're going to want to have a run scheme, an under-center scheme. If you're obviously a heavy passer, you're going to want to find the shotgun formation that you feel like you can attack every area of the field with. Now, when you build a scheme, it's important to, obviously, you're going to have your money play, your bread and butter. Maybe you have a couple money plays, a couple bread and butter plays that you feel like any down and distance, you can run these plays and you can feel confident of moving the ball where you need to move it. But you also have to have the complementary plays to build around this. You need, if your money play, let's say, for example, right here on screen, I'll pull up, the Trey Y flex. Let's say your money play is the PA crossers, and we'll just come out in it in game. And what does this mainly do? It attacks the right side of the field. So if your main play is attacking the right side of the field, well, to build around that, you want to find a play, that predominantly can, attack the middle of the field, and a play that can attack the left side of the field, and then you want to mix in a run with that. You want to have multiple plays and multiple things for your opponent to have to worry about. PA crosses, for example, it's a PA play, so you also want to use the inside zone in this example because that is the run play that plays off of the play action. The play action fake for PA crossers is the inside zone play fake. So little things like that. You want to have plays that look identical. You want to try to stay in the same formation because it makes, if you just have 10 money plays out of 10 different formations, well, a smart player, every time you go to that formation, they'll kind of, pick up on which play you're possibly running. But if you have 5 to 6 good plays out of one formation, then they never can truly know which play you're going to run, and that's how you keep them off guard. Same thing on defense. If you're more of a cover 2 guy, well, then you're going to probably stick in more cover 2. You're going to have cover 2 blitzes. But you have to mix it up. You have to mix in cover 3, cover 3 cloud, maybe even cover 1, little man defense, maybe a hybrid man end zone defense. You always want to scheme. If you have a blitz that comes from the left, you also want a blitz that comes from the right. Because you never want your opponent to just be able to key in on what you're doing. And that's what makes these great players great is they have the ability, to disguise everything, make it look the same, but you never truly know what passing play is coming, what route is coming, if it's a run or a pass, or, if the blitz is coming from the left or if it is coming from the right. And scheming, maybe going a little bit too much into this, but scheming is definitely number one on the list. And you want to be able to, have your opponent on his heels at all times. Number 2, far and away, would be stick. And, some people just have better stick than others, absolutely. You can't necessarily just, I'm not going to say you can't really teach stick. It's just something you have to practice. But stick mostly comes into effect when you're running the ball or, anytime you're in the open field. Once you become a ball carrier, you might throw a drag route or a slant route. But once you're in the open field, now you're a running back at that point. You're running and you're trying to avoid people. Also on defense when using a linebacker or a safety. How well you can bait routes, how well you can cover multiple routes at once. These things are extremely important in separating the good from the elite players. And the only thing you can do is practice. It's one of those, practice might not make perfect, but practice definitely makes better. Some people just naturally have better stick than others, just the same as, some people just naturally can shoot a basketball better than others, and that's why they're in the NBA. But, you can still make your shot better if you get out there every day or every other day and put up 100 shots. Your shot's going to get better. And it's the same with stick in Madden. The more you play, go in practice mode and just run the ball for an hour. Run different run plays. Try to make people miss. Try maneuvering through the holes. Try messing with the joysticks, the jukes, and the spins. Try figuring out a way, to, just get better in the open field. And the more you do that, the better you're going to get. Same on defense. A lot of people get scared to use her at first because it is hard and you will mess up. But, you're only going to mess up for so long. Eventually, you have to get better at it. I mean, all you can do is keep doing it, and eventually you're going to get better at it. So stick skill is definitely, maybe that could have been number 1 on the list. Stick skill is extremely important in any video game, but especially Madden because there's so many times you're in the open field. And you need to know how to maneuver in the open field. So only thing you can do is practice in real game, and you can play the computer even if you need to. Just as long as you're constantly practicing and trying to fine tune it, you'll get better at that. And the better you get at that, the better Madden player you'll become. Number 3, the last thing on the list, is kind of a 2-for-1, preparation and execution. I think these two go together. Just like real life NFL, you have to, these guys practice all the time. They study their opponents. Now, if you're just a guy that plays casually online, studying your opponents doesn't really do you no good because you're always playing someone different. But, you might be a guy that's in a league or a CFM. A lot of guys that watch this channel I know are. When you play these guys enough times, you pick up on their tendencies. You know what their favorite plays are. So if you know what an opponent that you're going to be playing, if you know what his favorite play is, get in practice mode, run that play, and find the defense that contains it. If it's a stretch play, find the defense that just absolutely shuts that stretch play down. If it's a play action play, with deep crossing routes, find the play on defense, find the zone coverage or the adjustments that completely lock that play down, and it gives you an edge over your opponents. But, aside from that, I always say execution is the biggest thing. If you've watched these tournaments, you see a lot of guys do run the same stuff. A lot of guys know exactly what play is coming, but it's all about who executes better. There's many times in tournaments where, the guy on defense knows exactly what the guy on offense is going to do, and the guy on offense knows exactly what the guy on defense is going to do, or they have a pretty good idea. But it's all about, somebody has to win the down. And sometimes fluky stuff happens, sure, but more times than not, the guy who executes better is going to win the down. And if you win more downs in the game, you're probably going to win the game. So the only way, again, to get better at execution is practice, preparation. The more you run a play, the more you find your style and the scheme that you like, the more you run it. Get in practice mode every day, even if you feel like you know your playbook and you have all the plays you need. Every time I go into practice mode with whatever playbook I'm using at the time, I always find a new play, or I always find a new setup to a play that I'm already running. You can always find something new to add to your game. So the more you practice, the more you get on the field and play people, the more reps you get, the better you're going to get at execution, and the better preparation you're going to have, the more you practice. And it might sound corny and cheesy and cliche, but that goes a long way. The more you get on the field and practice and fine-tune what you're good at, double down on what you're good at. If you got 3 good passing plays, double down on those 3 good passing plays. If those are the 3 plays that you are most comfortable moving the ball with, double down on those 3 plays. Get into practice mode. Find different ways to tweak those plays. Change up a route, or change up one of your hot routes. Maybe try motioning somebody. Try to double down on what works for you, and what you're successful with. And that's all you have to do. You don't have to go too far outside of the box. Just completely, lock in on what works for you, double down on it, and try your best to execute better each and every time. And the more you do that, then it becomes like you're playing with your eyes closed, because you just know what you have to do, you know where your reads are, and you don't have to overthink it as much. So those are my 3 things. Like I said, guys, tragic thing that happened yesterday. If you can donate, I definitely urge you to. The links are in the description and in the comments. We got to keep the community strong and keep building it. We can't let this stop the growth and the great things that are happening, but we definitely should pay respects to, the people that were affected. If you have the means to. If not, prayers can go a long way as well. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll be back tomorrow, regularly scheduled programming from here on out, and so see you guys later, man. Thanks for watching.